Welcome back, everyone, to Midwest Kings Dynasty podcast. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know how we do it. You already know us. So I'm not even going to do that kind of introduction. But we do have somebody special on. But you know I don't do the introductions, right? So I'm going to let my homeboy kick it off. Go ahead, take it away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got another special guest in the building. Got to do a adequate introduction. We got our boy Corey, aka Legend, aka Luther Burden Truther, aka Indiana Hoosier alum. How you doing today, sir? How you
Woo.
doing?
Hoosiers.
Hoosier.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. First off, let's say that it's an inside joke, but Hoosiers in the building, hail to old Indiana. But real talk, man, I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. I've been hearing good things and listening to the podcast. I'm definitely a fan.
No, we
Appreciate you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Yeah, yeah. We're just out here trying to get things moving, trying to let people know how things are out here in the streets, as they say.
hmm Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So,
but I know people in our league listening, so like
oh
hmm
take
yeah,
that with a grain of salt. Like
oh
I
yeah,
know y'all be listening. I know y'all be
oh yeah.
listening.
They definitely tune
Yeah.
in. They want to get those insights. So we try to give them little, like little nuggets. But
hmm
you reveal as much as you want. There we go.
hmm
Appreciate
So
you.
I, so I heard you say Indiana alum, right? Um, I guess we're gonna kick off with Indiana winning the Natty. That's I feel like what was that Big Ten? That 3 years in a row? What 3 years in a row for Big Ten?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
I'd be huge for the conference, right? It kind of
Right.
shows, what we do within the Big Ten. But how do you feel about that being an Indiana alum? How was that experience? Watching them kind of go from being a terrible team to being a team to watch out for to then being a dominant team.
I mean, first off, I'm Southside Chicago, but if you from Chicago, we all hold Isaiah Thomas in this rare air. So like Zeke is the reason I became a fan. Then like
Okay.
Antoine Randall, he from the neighborhood,
Yep.
play quarterback over there. He's a Bears assistant head coach. So like it was reasons why I wanted to go and I wanted to carve my own path. But it was just cool to see because the it's how they went about it. They went like the long road. They went the hard way. They had a
Right.
coach that had a personality and identity that a school that didn't really have that in football, basketball school could kind of get behind. When he said I win, Google me, like he was serious. And then it's
He was
like
dead.
he
He was dead serious.
yeah, but he had that belief in himself. So he had a lot of people that transferred over into that portal, a lot of people that kind of got involved, and like
Right.
he was backing it up. And it wasn't like some fluke or nothing out of left field. They were playing good football. So definitely, man, I'm excited about the future. I'm looking forward to it. And then you know, I gotta find me a Indiana Hoosier bar down here where I'm at because there's an alumni group. I gotta start going on watching the games, man. But it
Okay.
made me really proud because like when you spend all your money at school, you want to wear your gear. And
Right.
when I had to tell somebody I bought this at the bookstore, I ain't get this offline. I bought this with my financial aid money. So like,
With your
don't
money,
like
man.
it.
With that
Yeah,
money that you got.
yeah, yeah. So it was definitely a proud feeling for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I think we lost Kaleem for a little bit, but usually he jumps back on, so
Okay.
we can keep it rolling. Because I know he's gonna have his own set of questions that's gonna come about. But so usually and typically we ask, because the season's already over, it's already said and done. Um, we normally ask what was your thoughts going into this league within Dynasty as far as what you wanted to accomplish off of the first draft, and then now moving forward, obviously to the rookie drafts, right? So what was your initial kind of jump into it when you jumped into this league?
But my mindset was you can't build for the past and the future at the same time. You just be running
Right.
around in a circle. So I had to make a clear decision. Do I want to win now or do I want to win later? So like just kind of looking at the format and how I draft, I went the opposite route with it. And I think for me, it kind of set me up because I know in other leagues that I've played in, I can get a player a year or two before they about to like go crazy. But then
Okay.
when they go crazy, the next year happens, I can't hold on to the player. So I'm like, this kind of is my strong suit, what I actually like to do, you know. So I'm the weird dude watching the college film and I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, I'm looking at the highlights, I'm looking at, you know, as a Bears fan, I would say I've been looking at so much draft coverage for the Bears, I just kind of know some of the players just by doing my regular routine of just who the Bears gonna get because we need
Right.
to get better. So like that kind of helps me when it comes to like drafting in the keeper league because you know I like okay let me get this player. I think there's opportunity for them to grow, and then when it hits, it's like the greatest thing ever. So I wanted to build for the future, and on
Okay.
day one, you know, it was a funny thing. I didn't know he'd be the champion. I bet him like, was he gonna win the championship? And it didn't matter to me because I knew I wasn't gonna be trying to like win it this year. I was
Right.
definitely trying to go had a certain type of game plan when I go into the draft. So uh definitely build for the future was my mindset.
Right. So the future was always going to be that kind of priority. Because let me see. Let me see if I can pull your team up real quick while I'm on here. So yeah. So I mean, even through the draft right now, it's looking like you have really good, like really solid players, right? Like nobody who just stands out in that in that way. But you have some solid players. I mean, from what I see at least. Um, I know some people look at your team and they think middle of the road, which makes sense now. But if you have some middle of the road players and they're all healthy, I mean, you can't beat that. Uh,
See, I you know I realize everybody don't know the rules when they play fantasy. So like we get caught up in these big names, but we are in a PPR league. I
yep,
double down on receiver. I got a gang of receivers.
you do.
So I need to just draft at other places or make moves at other places and make sure I'm cool. The thing that for me is that Loveland hit. Like that was a stretch because I really wanted. I didn't know like if I have this thing about owning players on my favorite team that it'd be like I'd be kind of upset. But the fact that how he played and like if he gonna be like Tony Gonzalez or be like that type of tight end receiver number one option on a team, then
Right,
I'm all for it. So it kind of worked itself out. So while people were getting a proven name, I'm trying to get guys before they get big, before they out my price range, you kind of go from there. So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, and I also see that you got Luther Burden, which
yeah,
and I tell you right now, I during the draft, in my head, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get Loveland and I'm gonna get Luther Burden, right? I was like, but I'm gonna get them later. Like nobody's go like who's gonna jump on them as of as of right now. The moment I saw them go, especially Luther Burden, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, bro, because I wanted him on the back burner. So
right,
that's why I ended up grabbing uh I grabbed old buddy from the Packers. I grabbed Golden,
yeah,
right? Because I was like, all right, like they drafted this dude first round. I was like, listen,
right,
the Packers are gonna have to use this man because they got him first round. And
right.
they rarely use that dude.
You was a year early. You still cool.
Oh no,
Now
no,
they
yeah.
ship some people out. You good now, you know? And that's the beauty and the gift and the curse of Keeper League. Now, like they don't move some guys around, it's gonna be his time. Um, the other thing is, man, like to give context, I'm like Southern Illinois. I'm about maybe 15 minutes from East St. Louis. I'm about maybe 20, 30 minutes from St. Louis. So down here, Luther Burden is that dude. Like I was hearing stuff about him, how cold he was. I'm like, word? Like I had to go look it up. And then because I am down here, I do watch Mizzou games. And I knew something a lot of people didn't know. Luther Burden's quarterback in his like the year before he came out
Right.
left. So he didn't have the numbers but his
Ah,
height, weight, speed, ball handles, he would have been a first round pick. But he slid in the draft. Bears picked him up. And my main thing was, is Caleb going to develop? Because they're not even using him right. And I knew the moment they was going to draft him, DJ Moore was going to have to move around because he's a more athletic version of DJ Moore. You could kind of put him somewhere everywhere. His
right.
ability is really yards after the catch. So DJ Moore is known for yards after the catch too. So it's just, once they moved DJ Moore, I knew that it'll kind of take off. So sometimes in keeper league, you got to just be patient,
You
and
gotta be real
you
patient.
know,
That's tough.
it's chess, not checkers. You know.
Yeah. Do a quick pause, but welcome back, Kaleem. I know you
Yes,
had a
sir.
little bit of that technical difficulties.
Yeah, I don't know what
Um,
was going on.
but we gonna keep it moving,
Yep, yep,
keep it flowing. I've already asked him a couple questions,
yep. I can hear everything.
particularly
I was
about
with y'all.
how so you
Yep,
with
Word,
us?
yep.
word,
For
Cool,
word.
cool,
whatever
cool.
reason,
Appreciate you.
y'all just
So
couldn't see me. Yep, yep. I was hearing everything. The Luther Burden breakdown he was giving.
oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now with all that, right, with everything that you just said about building for the future and building for
Mm-hmm.
the draft and building through all that, what so now what are you now game planning for this year's draft? I know that you got two first round picks,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Everybody's
Uh
sleeping on my first
Back
round
to
picks
back.
though. It's cool
Yeah,
though.
so
back
It's
to back
cool.
I
too,
don't
right?
It's
think
cool.
anybody's sleeping on it.
Back to back.
Right.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
the
think
other
anybody's
part.
sleeping on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think what everybody is just curious as to how you're going to use it, right? Because you just said it yourself. Your team is set up for the future and also set up for that PPR type way. So it's like what are you trying to get out of this year's draft? If it's a particular player or is it a particular position or just
Mm-hmm.
however it is? Because you got pick 6 and 7. So
We in a
by that
12
time,
person league. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
by that
Yeah.
time, you could scoop up a decent running back. I did see they had a new mock out on old buddy from the backup for Jeremiah Love. And they're saying that he's the second best running back.
So like I've been doing my research. It's some guys because this whole draft is about Jeremiah Love, a few guys from Ohio State, and all
Mm-hmm.
these so like I'm in my routine of definitely checking out stuff for as far as the Bears. Now there's a couple of different things I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
First off, oh how it feels to be able to control the draft. Y'all first five
Yeah.
picks is cool. We know what the first five picks gonna be, but the draft gotta run through me. So like I'm cool with that. I understand that. I can handle this. This is what I do. Um, it really is early, man, because we don't dictate what teams they go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Jeremiah Love went to he went
Jets.
to a two running back. No, Jets. Perfect example. Jets. That might be good for him long term, but in his rookie year, it's going to be in a rotation. So that might happen if he goes to a team where um trying to think
The
like
Commanders.
Cardinals. I would say the Cardinals because the Cardinals, he gonna be the sun, moon, and stars over there. He gonna get
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be great numbers wise, but we're in keeper league. How good would it be for him long term? Like
Right.
injury history is something that we don't talk about because there's some guys that's there, that's some dogs. What's their injury history looking like? So like I'll let the draft come to me. I can't say now because I don't know what teams they're on. When I know what teams they're on, then I can kind of like, ooh, what the offensive line looking like? What's the quarterback? Because everybody brags about and everybody brags about receivers. Well, who's throwing them the ball? What is
Mm-hmm.
the what is their how many receptions they're gonna get? Like things of that nature. As far as does the offense run through them or are they like a second, third option on offense? Because there's some guys that might get uh good numbers, but it may have nothing to do with the quarterback. It might just that guy's a dog, and that's a different type of dude. But to me, it's all about the right fit and the right team because there's some guys out here, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping my eye on every single one. That's a. I mean, I won't rule out tight end. Like it just depends on the
Hmm.
team and the
Yeah.
setup and what the project what would it look like out in the next 2 years. Because I got two good tight ends. I got the tight end from Green Bay, but he's coming off injury. How's that gonna look? You
Right.
Right.
know, it's like things of that nature. Like I'm taking the injury history and I'm looking at the combine. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking
Hmm.
at and then does he go to a situation where he's sit for a year? Like,
Hmm.
I do have a glaring need at running back and quarterback in my mind. How does that look? How does that flow? What team do they go to? What opportunities are going to be? So it's a lot of variables. I can't just I'm not my heart's not just set on a player. That
Yeah.
depend on what because like Jeremiah Love could be the sun, moon, and stars. But if he go to the wrong team, if he go to the Raiders, then what you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
a legit thing to think about. That could possibly happen. We know it may not, but if he did, that might be a great team decision as far as an NFL, but it may not be a good fantasy decision for
Right.
us. So it depends on like how they fall. I'm really just waiting, looking at the draft, and I know right now it's lion season. Everybody lying, we lying,
Hmm.
the pro team lying,
Look at
everybody lying right now. Everybody like, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna take offensive tackle. Like, everybody say it. I'm waiting to
yeah.
kind of see how it kind of pans out. You
Okay.
know.
So
How it
saying
all
yeah. So
go
so
ahead.
so you saying that made me think. So you have obviously being in the middle of the draft, like you said, draft starts with you. We got the obvious up top, so we ain't gonna beat the dead horse with the love, and then the top three wide receivers, of course. Tyson
Right.
So
Lemon
what?
Tate.
Hold on. What,
Oh,
so
go ahead.
what are the top three receivers? Because I wanna know what. Yeah, because I don't know. Because that's the other thing.
Oh,
I try to stay unplugged best I can. So what's the top three
hey.
receivers?
So,
I
of
give
course,
some information up if
Tate,
it's
Tate,
it's
Tate, Lemon, Tyson. That's the assumed top
okay.
three after Love. So that's what I'm assuming going into it. You know what I'm saying? It could be a shock.
Right.
Okay.
Mendoza
Okay.
may get thrown in the mix. I know that was the streets talk about Mendoza being up there. But in terms of our league, I'm assuming it's just gonna be
Ooh,
Love and those three receivers. That's what I'm thinking. But
gotcha.
based off that, the top four at least. To me, it kind of starts at five, if I would have to say. Obviously you got six,
I
seven.
agree.
So, but wait, based on what you're saying, it'll be a combination of the two. It's either, hey, depending on the landing spot, you got to answer, and then your answer changes if that landing spot doesn't fit. Is that safe to say? Who you, in terms of who you eyeing?
Well, I mean, it's keeper league. We get to keep now people cutting folks and get rid of folks. We keep
Hmm.
up to 26 players. We get an additional. Because I'm saying everybody don't know the rules.
Yeah.
Everybody don't know the rules. So we get to get six more slots. So to me, it should be best player available. And,
Yeah.
and for me, because I got double bubbles, I could get
Yep.
best player available and then draft out a need in one of those picks. So
Yeah.
if Sadiq is there, I'm
Hmm.
thinking about it. It depends
Okay.
on the fit.
Okay.
Cause like if he go to a team and he's a number one option and they ain't got no receivers, something to think about. You
Hmm.
know, um, you
But
know, if
they're
so
talking about him
it
going to Tampa.
see Tampa might work because Mike Evans is leaving. All those
Hmm.
targets gonna be vacated. Somebody got to get them targets. Now they do got another tight end there, but is he better than Sadiq? Can Sadiq come
That-
out and be that dude, or do
That's
they
what I'm
gonna do two
saying.
tight end set? Are they gonna do two tight end set? Because like the Bears, I feel like Bears are going to that. I know Detroit was on there at one point. You put your middle linebackers like at a disadvantage. You got two like receivers that can block. You kind of could
Right.
do a whole bunch out of one set. That's what Ben Johnson's doing. So that might it just depends. It depends on because I think he might is it really this draft is funny
Hmm.
because there is not a generational talent outside of Jeremiah Love in this draft.
Yep.
But everybody is looking toward next year.
They
Everybody's
are.
game plan is on, even in our league, their game
Hmm.
plan is on next year. So teams are going to trade out or try to, somebody who you may not think would trade up might trade up to get somebody this year to fill a need. But like it's all the non sexy positions in this draft
Hmm.
are going at the top. It's like you got not even maybe an edge or not that many DTs. It's like defensive type of draft, safeties or
Yep.
whatnot. That's like
Hmm.
polarizing. Now the running backs are looking decent. Depends on the team. Depends on fit. Now we're coming back to knowing the rules.
Right.
I got requirements for my players. If you the other part you didn't look at there's certain age limit that's on my team. I got my oldest player might be Nico on that whole
I think
team.
so.
So I
Mm,
went.
okay.
I'm not getting old. I'm not. So I had like, you know, at two something we gonna do something. I had to have like a set. I got
Hmm.
a set criteria for this because I want to grow with them. So I'm like, all right, um, how's the age of the player? Because there's
Yeah.
some players coming out of college old, so it's like that's
Right.
something to think about. Is he too old? What is his injury history in college? Like, is
Hmm.
was he the man on that team? What conference did he come from? And then what team he go to in the NFL? And then the other last decision is coaching staff. Sometimes I think you could be the coldest player like Gentry. Gentry to me is gonna be that guy. He had an offensive coordinator, has a history of being boo boo in the NFL. He's a college head offensive coordinator. He did good. What team he used to coach back in the day? I can't think, but I know he had the Eagles. And Shady talk about that he tried. He don't know what he doing. He stayed keeping the NFL job.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's like, um, is the offensive coordinator, are they run heavy? Are they not? Like, receptions are the thing on my team. I love receptions because you can have uh 50, you say you got like 7 targets and 25 yards, but them 7 targets, that's 7 points. That might be a 9 point game right there. Like it's like the number one thing in fantasy is knowing the rules. I'm realizing a lot of people don't know the rules. So like you might
Hmm.
get a guy off the waiver wire that can cook. As I think our waiver wire is super deep now because people have been
Yep.
dropping folks. Like that's a smart thing to
Right.
do now. So
Right.
like I'm gonna assess that. Where am I looking at on the waiver wire? Who can I get? Who is like a value there? So
Yep.
but
The
yeah.
the boneyard is going to be real plentiful. I think this year.
Hmm. See,
Um,
I do
I
that sleight of
definitely,
hand. I do that sleight of
yeah.
hand, man.
So I'm actually curious if Fernando Mendoza is going to get picked up first round in our league because I don't
Mm.
really know. I don't know who in our league needs a quarterback that desperate.
Right.
In that sense of they have an aging quarterback. They need somebody that's going to be the future type deal. Um, yeah, I don't. Do you think he's going to go first round?
So, all right, he shouldn't go first round. He's gonna go first round. He's gonna go
Really?
first round. I think maybe if it's not first round, it's the beginning of the second round because somebody didn't do their homework and they're gonna go just whatever is. There's always that one guy in the league. We all know that one
Hmm.
dude.
Yep.
You might
Yep.
be listening right now. Like
Yep.
we love you. We appreciate you so much because players drop to us that should not be there because you love some guy and that's my school. But I know I shouldn't go quarterback that early. Like I got Justin Fields on my team. Like, and low
Hmm.
key, Justin Fields might be my starting quarterback because he going to that team and little buddy hurt and he might cook. So like,
Hmm.
but I feel like he shouldn't go, but it's always there. It's always that one guy. Every single
Yeah.
time is that one guy in the
Hmm.
league, man.
No, I can see that.
So
I
how
think.
about who's the other dude? Who did we talk about earlier? Kaleem, Amari Cooper, Omar Cooper.
Yeah.
See, I
Since you
it,
you the alone, we gotta ask. You know, what I'm saying Omar Cooper, Elijah Sherrod. You know, what's your thoughts, sir? What how you feeling about them?
so my thing when it comes to Indiana, was it a
Hmm.
byproduct of coaching or was it a byproduct of talent? Because when you
Mm,
sit down and look at it, and uh, I can't say his name. Canetti comes from that Nick Saban uh,
tree.
tree, which is technically the Bear Bryant tree that is known for defense. They play defense and they get at you, and they
Right.
take your strongest thing away from you, and make you just try to like win the game on your own. So even
Mm-hmm.
though Fernando, he made some good throws, but like they were running the ball and playing good defense. I gotta see where he land. Is he gonna land in the right place? Is he gonna land with the right
Mm-hmm.
quarterback? Because that's the number one thing. So I the numbers look good. It look halfway decent. I know he's going in the back half. I think he's going second round, late second round, maybe possible early third.
Mm-hmm.
So we see. Like I'm be
Yeah,
rooting for him as a fan, but we talking about business at this point. Like it ain't nothing
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
personal, you know. So
yeah. I think this year it definitely depends on where certain players land.
Mm-hmm.
I know Kaleem was talking about he's sold on Makai um as who he's gonna go for regardless. And I mean, I feel like Makai is one of those players that have been talked about. Where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna jump around? Is he gonna go to the Rams, the Bucks? I think I saw. Is he gonna go to the Well, is it the Dolphins? No,
Yeah. Yeah, that
I
was
forgot
one
another
of them
team.
he's throwing around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. 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 So, um, he could be in a great situation, or it's like you said, like sometimes, they're not ready just yet. This is for the future. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like depending on if he goes to the Rams, I think he still might be a pick.
I mean, but I feel like if you can be patient enough, if your team can give you the patience to sit on him
Yeah.
while they kind of, I mean, I think for the Rams it'd be perfect. But if he goes to the Dolphins, even though he might be that dude over there, the quarterback on the, I mean, and Willis is the tricky one here, bro, because I feel like is Willis because he looked better with Green Bay. But
Yep.
Right.
but people don't people and when they played the Bears, he looked great. I'm not gonna lie, it
Mm-hmm.
was hard
Yep.
watching that game. But
Yep.
he looked great running the ball. It wasn't like he out threw. And the one thing is the Bears are really bad like stopping the run. So of course you're gonna run all of us. That's just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
what everybody's been doing. Like it wasn't that we had the type of defense uh that can win. It was more or less like we had 11 injuries on defense. And there's nobody
Mm-hmm.
talking about that while we're trying to draft all these guys. We had 11 injuries on defense. So some of those guys will come back. Some of those guys are proven. And they got hurt early in the season. So I really think Ben Johnson's practice was something that they weren't used to because like guys get hurt left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Luther Burden got hurt in training camp. And he was with the second team. He was dominating them. And I was like, why he ain't with the first teams? But I think they might have
Mm-hmm.
more politics because like if DJ Moore don't get the ball, he start to cry. Like we don't
That's
talk
true.
about how he
Yeah.
be crying. I knew Caleb's rookie year that we need to get rid of him because that so like it's about fit. You
Mm-hmm.
go into a team with a running quarterback. Is he gonna throw the ball? Like everybody's not Josh Allen. Everybody can't get the
Yep.
runs and make the throws like him and Lamar can do. So and it's gonna just go on fit. I'll be more than welcome to come back on after the draft and we kind of because I'm ready for this draft to be over. This one be one of them drafts like especially like for my team, like man, like all right, let's get this over with so I
See
know
what's
who we
going
got.
on.
I could be
Yes.
happy or glad and get back to this fantasy life. It's taking forever to get
Right.
to the draft.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Yeah. The draft definitely. It's definitely seeming like it's taking a while for all this to happen as far as draft goes. Because I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
definitely want to know where some of these players are going to land, so I can start making some moves. I know everybody wants to, even earlier, right? We talked about what is it going to take to get that first pick.
Yeah,
To be, I
man.
mean, to be honest, like you know, it's a gamble regardless. Because if he goes to the right team, I probably should move the pick at all. But if he goes to the wrong team, it's going to be hard for me to move that pick.
I
Mm-hmm.
Um,
mean, hey, you come talk to your boy,
Yeah.
come talk to me, what I'm saying? Like you're viewing the draft through the lens that those two picks won't be dominant. The part I know, one of those five picks, somebody's gonna mess it up. Somebody's gonna go
Mm-hmm.
wherever
yep,
Kuiper says to go with, and don't think through like they don't. Somebody in those first five picks don't know the rules. Some
Hmm.
they'll know the rules of our fantasy league. They might know it of a
Yeah.
keeper league, but over here it's a little different. So like I said, receptions matter. Like I can get a running back or get a tight end or get somebody that can may not be over like Tate. Tate may not be the fastest dude on tape, but
He's
he's
not,
great
but
at
his route
route
running
run
is crazy.
and he got hands. If he
Hmm.
get 7 receptions at 7 points, like
Hmm.
you could put him in the flex spot because he's a receiver. So like it's those type of things. But somebody's going I don't care if they listen to this now. We're not worried about you. Somebody's gonna
Hmm.
mess that draft. Somebody gonna go with somebody because that's their cousin or something, or they just
Yeah.
like this team or his college team. Somebody gonna do it. And like I feel like more or less I just gotta be ready to pounce when those type of opportunities come.
Yeah. I will say
Okay.
though,
Yeah, I mean,
to both of y'all points, that this is more of a, since this is not an obvious draft. I like it because it's more of a strategic draft, you know. We gonna see who was in the
Yeah, but
trenches, you know what I'm saying, researching. And like you said,
yeah.
Legend, you know what I'm saying, who I'm just picking because Kipper said, oh, that's my big board, and this who you gotta go with. So yeah, I think it's gonna
Right.
tell the people that's really about this life and not, you know what I'm saying. So I agree. This should be real interesting to see.
I love me some competition, man. I like my little persona is Ric Flair. You know, you gotta beat the man to beat a man.
Mhm.
Like it's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
that's just what it is. Like I like it because I know cats is just going off what somebody said, and
yep.
I'm
Hmm.
looking at the game tape. So when you said the backup running back for Jeremiah Love is great, but bro, there's some dudes with some numbers out here, and they look
Hmm.
good in shorts and a tank top. I need to know what team they go with. I need to know what the
Right,
offensive
right.
line look like. I need to know what the fullback, like how the blocking. Does a coach, does he run 50%
Hmm.
and pass 50%, or is it a 60-40? How can the running back like catch the ball out the backfield? Yes, I do think that he is a good running back. I do know that he's a tad little slower, and they might do the Sonic and Knuckles things at Notre Dame, where one was
Hmm.
had like Gibbs and one was Montgomery. So like that,
Yep.
like if he's more like a Montgomery, is he gonna go to the right team that's gonna use him like a Montgomery? Are they gonna try to have him to be Gibbs? And then do they have the offensive line? Because like if you get that type of running back, you want to beat teams up. Are they gonna beat the type of team that's gonna beat teams up? You know, so it depends. It depends on. And then the sad truth, the NFL has changed its perspective on how they view running backs.
Hmm.
So we might have to
That is
wait a little
true.
bit, like day two, for us to really see what's going on because they don't, Jeremiah Love, you need to get that extra fifth year on him because that's
Hmm.
an extra year you can save money and build a team around him. Now, does he go to the Titans? I like him if he goes to the Titans because the best thing a receiver can have is a tight end he could dump the ball off to, or a running back he could throw to the flat. Those are easy,
Hmm.
quick receptions and kind of help the team move the chains. But it all just kind of depends on how they're gonna do that. So it's like
Hmm.
there's some running backs in this. There's some running backs that might have went to a small school or don't have a big name that's cold. But then
Right.
Hmm.
I know for a fact there's some guys that are workout warriors, Anthony Richardson, that look great on like combine, but does it?
Right, right.
And I feel like Anthony wasn't bad. I just feel like he was on the wrong team. They want him to throw the ball. He need to
Yeah.
be wishbone set. They need to be doing
Hmm.
like that play action pass, and I
Yep,
probably would have
yep.
sat him. So um yeah. So like
Yeah.
my draft strategy is a lot different. It's maybe unorthodox. So like and I like that because people can't put me in the box. Like they don't know what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. Like, oh man, but we don't know what Legend gonna do. Yeah, I want you to feel like that. With that
Hmm.
pressure, I want you to think about me. They have nightmares. What Candyman gonna do? That's all I want,
Right.
man.
Okay. Well, um, we'll see. Right? Because I'm hoping Jeremiah Love goes to the Commanders. So
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna let it be known if he
No,
goes
no,
to the
no, 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 no,
Commanders.
no. Hold on. So
Well,
this is why you bring Legend on the podcast. I don't want
Okay.
him to go to the Commanders. That's gonna take
Why?
away from his That's gonna take away from his touchdowns because you got a running quarterback. He needs to go to a team with an upright quarterback who won't take away from his touchdowns in the backfield. That's the number one thing that is cool because help them march down the field, and then Daniels will take it in if he needs to. So like I'm a little worried about
That's a good point.
it if he goes there. Those type of things that go through my mind that I know that other people may not be thinking about, but like that's the thing to think about. Like I need him to either be Ricky Williams on that team where you are the sun, moon, and the
Mm-hmm.
stars, and can his body handle that, or he's on a team where he got one of those quarterbacks to just just dump it off, dump it off. No, Jaden tried to get that deep ball. He tried to
Mm-hmm.
make those flashy plays. Like he a good quarterback. I think he's great, but is he gonna slow down on that running? You know, and those are yards because every 10 yards is a point, and those are
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns that might be taken away from the running back.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a very different take on that. The Commanders, because I was actually going to ask both of you all what you think. What team could Love get drafted to where you don't like the situation? Me personally, it's not too many top teams up there. If Love goes to it, where I'm just like completely turned off. I think he's gonna transcend enough where it's like he's gonna eat. I don't. So I just wanted to know like what teams where y'all like I'm not really rocking with it because there's not too many teams myself. Where I'm like it's not as off-putting. So some I get, but I just want to kind of see what y'all thought about that.
I
I
would
was thinking more
say
the Giants.
okay. Like him on the Giants, but it
Yeah.
might be the same reason I don't want him on the Commanders because I think them dudes like there's some college frat frat dudes that just like to hit their head in the wall.
Oh yeah. That's
That's
fun.
what I was like, bro. I
Definitely.
love Neighbors, but I hate Neighbors having that type of quarterback. You don't know if he's gonna be healthy, man. Like legit,
Mm,
he might just fall on the ground and you can cuss down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So he can still eat in that situation, but I think he would be good on if now if they because the quarterback on the Giants had so many concussions. If
mm,
they like, and then but when Scalaboo comes back, how is that gonna look? But it can work because Scalaboo can be your short, take all the wear and tear. So Jeremiah Love could be Jeremiah Love, and
yeah.
I think that's dope.
Yeah.
I don't want him to go to the Jets because I feel like the Jets gonna tank next year. They are here.
Ooh.
Now the only thing that's gonna stop, I think they tanking. I think they know what time it is. They got all these picks. They gonna have these good players sit. If you cold, you gonna sit this year, type of thing. You gonna have some
Right.
strange injury and sit down, so we can get some draft picks. I think because it's gonna be a quarterback sweepstakes,
Mm-hmm.
for the Jets. So if they draft a quarterback in the first round, then I know the Jets are serious. If they draft them in the second round, then I know that the Jets are gonna tank. They're gonna tank for Eli. This is what it's gonna be. Now, is Eli granddaddy gonna let him go to the Jets? We don't know. Um, and they might because it's like they like to be a big market team. So
It's a big market. Yeah.
yeah,
But I
but
mean,
like
it's
his
also, but it's a big market team, but I mean, it's a bad team.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know,
well,
man. Yeah. I don't know
but
what to
like
really
all
think
right,
on
all right.
that.
So Caleb Williams almost broke the Bears all-time quarterbacks yards list last year, and then I think it was like 400 yards that could have been completed if it wasn't for drops. We had some drop
Mm-hmm.
hippopotamus on the Bears. Like a lot of people was
I thought he
dropping.
did. I thought he did break it. He just didn't get
My,
4,000 yards.
my bad. 4,000, the first 4,000, he did get it, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
All
I know.
time leading best quarterback in Bears
Whole
history,
history.
second year.
Crazy. Crazy.
So like he didn't break 4,000 yards. You're right. The thing
Mm,
is, like he could go into that type of situation because the Jets got a good team. They got, the defense is still doing good. The running back,
The defense is
if you
terrible.
go, well,
yeah.
First defense in the history of the NFL to not record an interception all season. Nah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's super
No,
wild.
nah.
let me say
That's
this
super
back.
wild talk.
Depending on what the Jets do in this draft, if the Jets do the what the Seahawks did and get like a solid, good, young, like
Mm-hmm.
tenacious defense, they got some good picks in the next 2 years. Where if I think they're gonna try to make it a good landing spot for Eli. I really think they're gonna tank. I really think they're gonna tank. and I don't want Love to go over there because he's gonna have to sit, or they're gonna make him sit and then try to just use the other running back into the ground, and then you kind of like you gotta wait. Now, if you're willing to wait on him, that's cool. But if you need that player to produce, it's something to think about.
It's true. That's
I appreciate y'all having me on the podcast because people be thinking I'm just some lunatic. Nah, bro, I'm not a lunatic. Like my thing is, if it's wherever I could take you off your square. Like, so I know you. It's sleight of hand. It's George Clinton. It's Parliament. Like, I'm giving you the clown face and the dude with the big nose, but I'm also giving you the message on the low. Like, I know football. I be studying it like I'm just out here, whatever. Like, that's why I'm talking the way I'm talking, because I know, like, out of the age bracket and the talent out of the age, I'm gonna be fine for a long time. I know
right.
that. Like, just given how young my players are and how they're already producing, and they're either moving teams or being in better situations, and we gonna be good out here. I just gotta keep making good decisions. But yeah, like,
So are you
you know,
so are you actively trying to move up in this draft?
I am, but you don't want what I got. You just told
Yeah,
me
you good.
like it ain't good enough. So, cause like I'll take them off your hands for my team. Oh, it's over. You let me get him. Oh, I'm talking cash. I don't care
Really?
what team he go to. For me, I don't care what, because I got Chase. I got Chase as my best running back. I
Okay.
drafted Chase because of the receptions. Now the thing is, Burrow got to be healthy for he to be you. Because toward the back half of that season, Chase was cooking. At the beginning, while the quarterback's kind of getting his bearings together, that's the one thing. So I'm hoping that Cincinnati go get some offensive linemen, get him some help, and just stop playing with him. And then they lost their best player on defense. They're going to be in more offensive situations. That's another thing that we don't talk about on fantasy. Sometimes going to the bad team, depending on what type of player you got, is the best thing in the world. I forgot that
Oh yeah.
quarterback who used to be on the Jaguars, and they used to just throw the ball just to get the game over with, and it would be all this garbage time points you can get. Like, I don't want them to dominate. I want them to be in a close game if it's a receiver. But if I got a running back, I want them to dominate so he get them last minute garbage time points. So
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
just be out here just yelling and
definitely
screaming.
matter.
No, I
Yeah.
I be, come on, like, yeah, that's what they need to hear it. They need to hear it, like, 'cause they be acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, cool,
Right.
that's good.
Okay. Okay. Well, I know. Hold on. Let me check out your team real quick.
And then while you're doing that too,
Uh,
Nolan, I'm just gonna make a note for the viewers. They should know that by now, but I know that Legend mentioned he actually said Eli. Of course, everybody should know he's talking about Arch. You know what I'm saying? I just like to
yep.
Oh
clarify.
yeah,
People
yeah,
say
yeah.
that later. Oh,
I'm
why are
gonna
you saying
yeah,
that? He don't know what he said. No,
correct.
no, you good, you good.
Okay. Now,
I
now,
just like to
now I got
notate
to
it.
give this caveat. Like, so Arch Manning, I'm a big fan of the family. Now, what happened
Hmm.
with Arch Manning was he was like dude in college, and then his dad killed himself. So a lot of people grew up watching Arch because it was just his thing. He had a Heisman
Hmm.
campaign, and his
Hmm.
father, so a lot of when you think about the influence of him, he has influence because most of the people that's in control was watching the dad, and he just went to a bad team,
Right.
went to the Saints, and they were like the
Yeah. The Saints were
Aints.
terrible.
But
Yeah.
like, if he would have went to any other team, so he is real serious about my
Hmm.
kids, and we gonna go to the right team because he understands. And so little
Yep. Yep.
buddy is coming off privileged situations.
Yep. Yep.
One thing in life you won't leverage. He got it, by his last
Hmm.
name. So they're not gonna put him in
Yeah.
a situation for him to lose. But everybody's gonna
Right.
be clamoring to get to him because the boy can throw and he can run. He got his
Mm.
daddy's athletic ability, and none of the men has got that. His dad was a
Right.
receiver. He was cold.
Yep.
He just had that neck thing that was like, I think it's
Yeah.
genetic that they have. I don't know if he got it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. His dad. Because I think Peyton was he was even saying that the best athlete out of all three of them was Cooper Manning.
Yep.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I saw a couple of his high school highlights, and I was like, man, he doesn't look like a Manning to me. Like he,
He doesn't look
Yeah.
like Don Beebe, man. Like, for real.
Right.
so
Right.
I could definitely see if Arch does go to not even I mean, I can't even say like the right situation, but if he just goes to a team where, um, you know, honestly, I could see this is a stretch, but I could see him going to the Rams. I could see the Rams because they got Stafford, right? This is probably Stafford's last
Hmm.
year.
I can see that.
Hmm.
It's LA, huge market,
But yeah, and the Rams are willing to give whatever it takes to get what they need to
whatever it
get.
takes.
So I can see
Yeah.
them like trading the where they got players they can move.
Especially this year, if they pick up, so just think about it. If they get Makai Lemon, right?
Hmm.
He's a LA guy, and like let's just say, like they trade away whatever they got to trade away to move up, and
Hmm.
they draft Arch. Now they got Arch and Makai, two young players, and I feel like
Hmm.
Sean McVay, he's an offensive guru. You know, they'll probably still
Hmm.
have Kyron Williams, because they're not gonna probably
Hmm.
move him.
Right.
They're probably gonna have to give up a lot of capital to move up, but I think it's all about big market because it's like you said, like if he's if Arch ends up in a situation where uh the where his grandfather don't want him to go, I mean Arch could sit out.
Yeah,
So
Now,
that's
what?
just
Now,
man, that's
now
just
what?
crazy to think
Now, what if
about. No,
what
go
if
ahead.
Arch went to Atlanta?
so that's the
Think
thing.
I'm looking at the teams who might have a chance to get him and like
Hmm.
who need a
So
quarterback. That'd be crazy.
so so even
Yeah.
Atlanta, right? You got to think about it. To me, what would you want your kid to go to Atlanta?
White boy, yes.
Yeah.
No, no offense to anybody. Arch, yes, I would. Arch should be
I just
fine
feel
down
like
there.
it. I wouldn't want to go to Atlanta because they don't have a winning history in that sense.
Hmm.
Now, but he'll be remembered for the rest of his life. Now, I mean, they did at one point. Atlanta had a good, had Matt. I just feel like you
Hmm.
got a elite talent at running back who
Yep.
went to Texas. You went to Texas.
Ooh,
You got
Hmm.
a top tier receiver. Like
Hmm.
you got a really good tight end. I feel like he's not being used right. You got everything. All they
Right.
really need is a quarterback. Like if my kid was playing quarterback, I would want them to play on a team like that. Now, is Atlanta going to do what it needs to take to tank? That's the thing, because I think they're going to
Hmm.
try to win games, and I think they're going to get in their way. But we'll see. Like Tua might Tua and be on the
yeah.
sideline,
Right. 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 Absolutely.
and then here again, when I say who's going to throw that receiver the ball, this is all I'm saying, man.
Hmm.
Like I just I'm thinking about who else. I don't see. My thing is, I'm looking at the league now in its totality. Unless he goes to maybe the Steelers,
I was thinking the
Hmm.
Steelers.
I can see him going to the Steelers, and I can see them doing that. Um, I I think the Saints are gonna they gonna try to stay with their quarterback, unless the
Hmm.
Vikings make a move, and I don't want that to happen. Or the Browns is the other one. Like he don't want him to go to the Browns,
Yeah, he might
but
skip that. He might step in on that one. But
yeah,
oh,
but
Yeah.
the
that
Browns
Atlanta
gonna
one,
they
that
gonna
that Atlanta one was something I wasn't ever thinking about. Atlanta always
or
kind of
Miami.
middle of the road. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I know we talked about it in the chat a little bit. I know Miami kind of got that, that bad negative cloud on them, but I can see that. I can definitely see Miami as one of them for sure.
Now, Arizona is intriguing. Um, because I can see Arizona losing enough games. And like
Hmm.
if you're willing to have so much dead cap money for Kyler Murray, I can see him easily going to Arizona too. And that might work.
Ye-
Then that makes me think that Arizona
Now,
might get your boy at running back.
Yeah, I was just about to say that if you're doing that, I was
good.
really about to say that. You just read my mind. Take love. Go and get,
Take
what I'm
love.
saying? Oh yeah, now you cooking. Go on and take it up. And
Yep.
then you
Take it
you
up.
you rolling. You looking real nice. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be really cool. Because I mean, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. still.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
And people need to stop smacking Marvin Harrison Jr. If your quarterback can't see over the offensive line, he can't get you the ball deep. Like
Yeah.
I like he's not a bust. Now he got I think he had his appendix needed to get taken out last year with some weird
Hmm.
surgery. But if his
Yeah.
quarterback could give him the ball, the boy can play. It's just his
Hmm.
yeah,
quarterback can't see off the offensive line. You know,
No,
and
absolutely.
yeah,
that's family. That's family over there in Arizona. That's Harrison. You know,
Hmm.
these Manning connections. That's the other thing. They got connections out here, which is crazy. And
Yeah.
he might
Yeah,
go
that's true.
to he might does he go to the Giants?
Hmm.
or or the Colts.
Uh,
Like, hey,
See,
yeah. A
yeah, I
lot of.
feel you.
no,
I
You
feel
said
you. I
no.
just, no, that actually might really make. The only thing is the draft capital. She gave up
Yeah.
all of the draft capital for they would have to just lose out. She
Oh yeah,
kind of
getting
put.
sauce,
She
right?
did make some good decisions. Yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
gave up two first rounds, so it
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
have to be. But I feel like if anybody's willing to give up the sun, moon, and the stars, Ursay will definitely do that for sure. So I can see
Hmm.
it.
bring that legacy back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
I
then
can
Plus,
something
see,
people don't think about
they might
too,
treat him
you
like
know,
Jesus.
yes, that's what I'm saying. They you got to think about that too, to your point. Like, the name in itself, the owners, they're gonna break their neck because of the merchandise, the money, the attention, even those
yep,
smaller markets that's not getting all that energy. So they willing to break their neck to do that, just that alone. So especially because a lot of owners
Right.
out there, they just more money driven than winning and all that. But that's another conversation in itself. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
so,
Yes.
all right, well,
Now. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I was gonna say, like, just to kind of like not since we're close to wrapping, but I was gonna ask one more question as far as um what what are you I know we talked about like you're building for the future, all that jazz. What right now, if you could get one or two players right now, not draft wise, just like trading or moving around what you got to move around. What two players are you uh would you be willing to get, or or have you been eyeing, if you want to reveal that?
See, man, I know I'm gonna say this statement, and people not gonna believe me, and this is why I act the way I do, because nobody ever believes me. I
Okay.
am fine with my team. I don't.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I am so, bro. I am so confident about this team. Like, I just know it's gonna take some time. So I'd rather take some L's now and go and
Hmm.
set
Okay.
up a dynasty later. So like I'm cool with it. Like I'm like, no, that's because I feel like I'm gonna have to give up a player to get that, and I set up a
Hmm.
nice, really good foundation. Am I one player away? I'm not there yet. Maybe after this draft, I can have that conversation. But is there
Hmm.
anybody that I need? Because I know it's gonna take the sun, moon, and stars to get one of those elite players, and it got to be somebody young and elite. I can't do nobody older than elite. So
Right.
Hmm.
I trust my drafting chops, and I just keep getting these lottery tickets. I got two in the first round, and we go from there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Which is
No, no,
huge, but hey,
I
if you're happy with your team,
That's enough.
that's a rarity, right?
Hmm.
but but that's what I'm supposed to say on camera. Off, like you get my DMs, I don't know what I'm gonna say. But on camera, and when people hear my voice, I'm gonna give you that little political. Like, yeah, I'm content. We're building for the future. We set a strong
Okay.
Okay.
foundation. We have certain goals, and we're content to building this team out. Like I'm gonna give you the coach speak.
Right.
Now, if
Okay.
you send me off, I can't refuse. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look.
Hmm.
So like we're gonna see. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is a very PC answer.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more of a wild card type deal, but
Yeah.
no, it's all good.
this
We'll have to
this
roll from
chestnut
there.
checkers. This chestnut checkers. Like I. I will be more than happy to come back on after the draft because I think you might get
Oh,
more of a,
I feel
more or less
like
ambiguous answer
Fill
then.
out. Okay.
I feel like we're definitely gonna have a post draft
Yes.
podcast with
Hmm.
a couple different people. Probably
Yep.
probably try and see if we could get some multiple people on to
I'm down. I'm
you
down.
know
Absolutely.
see how things go. But no, we definitely appreciate you. Unless you got anything else, there, Clean.
No, I'm good, man. We can
Hey,
wrap
if
up,
you
man. You go ahead.
let's get it.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead. We do appreciate you jumping on, but now's your time to shine, right? Tell us, either what you got going on, what you gotta have going on in the future. Do whatever plugs that you got to do. This is your
Well,
time.
Even sneak this the
Uh,
league. Anybody in the chat, you know what I'm
oh,
saying? Anything and everything you want to do. Go ahead. Do your thing.
I'm a professional. At the end of the day, it's always Legendary Perspective podcast. I gotta bring that out from the ruins and get that popping.
Okay.
I
Okay.
do want to say like these y'all my brothers and I love y'all. This ain't nothing personal. This is just, this is just fantasy. So don't have too much, but I appreciate this. I haven't podcasted in so long. Forgot how
Hmm.
great it feels to connect. So I appreciate y'all having me on. I look forward to the opportunity. And I wish everybody luck. Some of y'all gonna need it. So that's what's up.
Well, we definitely appreciate you, jumping
Yes,
on the
sir.
pod. I know, this is kind of a new thing, as far as Dynasty goes, but yeah, no, we definitely appreciate you. Can't wait for the future. It's gonna be nice.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but appreciate y'all for listening, for tuning in, for watching us. Those fans that have been listening and or watching this whole
Hmm.
time, we definitely appreciate y'all. It's all love. Uh, yeah. Anything you want to send away, Kaleem?
Nah, man, we good. Appreciate y'all. Thanks again, Legend. Taking the time out. We really appreciate you, sir. Like I said, looking forward to the draft so we can get to the next step.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Deuce.